the game one more time. So Ding started with the move c4. As Peter mentioned the start of the broadcast, before the game began, he had some information that GUKESH is playing e5, but no, today GUKESH surprised him with e6, a second system that he's prepared against the English. Ding, after some thoughts, opted for bishop g2 setup, and GUKESH had something ready with d4. A trendy system, a rather ambitious one as well. I'm sure GUKESH wanted to make a draw in this game. It would have been a very beneficial result, but he might have prepared this ambitious system already before the match. And also the way he played it is actually trying to create a balance, trying to play for equality. So it was actually a pretty sensible choice. It looked actually like a very good choice here after bishop e7, which is a new move, or at least a very rare one. d3, d3, bishop e3, e5. It seemed like an excellent piece of prep by GUKESH. The line that's supposed to be sharp, often a reverse Benoni, now turns into potentially a symmetrical game. You expect white to go d4 at some point, and then you create symmetry, and things are looking really good for black here in terms of fighting for equality. But Ding saw it much deeper, and somehow, without even being prepared with the engine preparation, Ding over the board appears to have played really well. He started playing around this d4 idea, not rushing it just yet. Rook e1, a very useful move. Then a3, h3, these slow moves, taking control of these squares, improving position bit by bit. Bishop e6, so far all approved by the engine, by GUKESH, also played very quickly. But now after the move king h2, another strong waiting move, GUKESH started thinking and couldn't find the right plan. It seems, although the black's position looks really good, everything is perfectly placed. Black has even a bit more space in the center, but black's pieces have already found their best squares, and it's hard for black to improve the position, while white has plenty of ways. And as soon as white gets the rook on the d file, d4 will become a much stronger idea than it is now. So Ding postponed this strategic idea of d4, and here somewhere GUKESH started going wrong, because he probably should have done something concrete, something strong. But with these slow moves, he lost the momentum. Knight d4 was probably the plan, after which Ding has seen this incredible resource with rook h5. Now d4 pawn is falling, the rook on h5 is out of play often, but here is somehow just fine. So this was a big issue in GUKESH's intention, and after missing this, it was hard for GUKESH to make sense of his position. He tried rook e8 and bishop f5, slowing down d4, but d4 is still coming after rook d1, knight d7, queen d2. d4 is a massive threat. Probably GUKESH missed knight c5, d4, knight d3, d5, a very powerful exchange sacrifice, which is not something you see in advance so easily. And now, after queen a5, white has 2 pawns for the exchange and a massive advantage. So after queen d2, GUKESH was in a very tough spot. He tried fighting, but after bishop g6, d4, white has positional dominance here. The knights are really poor. The e4 pawn is weak. The white's pieces are harmonious. Knight on b5 is a monster. c7 pawn is also very weak. So dominant position for GUKESH, for Ding. And the turning point, the last turning point was, although the situation was still very difficult, GUKESH made this tactical oversight with bishop g5, missing probably that after knight f4, bishop h7, c5, bishop takes f4, hoping for takes knight d5, cb is there, and after bishop d6, there are some concrete problems here. d5 and bishop f4 both win material. So this powerful intermezzo c takes b6 was missed by GUKESH. The knight has nowhere to go. It cannot go to d5, and control of the d5 square is absolutely essential. So black would just be lost here, and that suddenly meant that GUKESH had to part with his dark square bishop. But now the position is strategically lost. Without dark square bishop, black has no hope for any initiative on the king side, no way to properly defend the dark squares d6 and c7. And these dark squares basically crumbled, and Ding just broke through. He could have also just won the exchange with knight a7, but breakthrough here is even more powerful, and black's position completely collapsed, and the rest was a matter of technique. Ding just collected the pawn, went back, maintained all the dominance. Peter was highlighting here all the advantages of white's position, but yeah, one more pawn and 2 pawns, and absolutely winning position. A dominant display in the end. Black is completely lost. Positionally and tactically, and now also the d pawn is going to promote. So an incredible game by Ding. It's hard to even say how GUKESH should have improved. Clearly clearly somewhere around the moment of rook b8 is where it went wrong. Probably Gukesh had to should have recollected his prep better here, because it seems the position was actually deceptively tricky for him, and with just few moves that seemed natural, few slow moves, he was already in massive trouble, and from here on already it just went downhill. So an incredible game by Ding, and one for Gukesh to forget, and the match is tied again now.